helping the homeless. But is it help when it weakens the individual and society? Helping the homeless. Solutions. Simplifies government by design. This page changed with the August 20, 2025 edit. Bleeding hearts. What or who are they? Though the term bleeding hearts has a negative political suggestion, negativity is not intended here. There are many shades between two extremes. Many bleeding hearts fit closest into one or the other of the extremes. Nearly everyone is or has that bleeding heart. Even I, as someone pointed out, am a bleeding heart. The object of my blood loss is the nation that got politically off track immediately after finalizing its 1776 design. All the bleeding heart is a person who has a cause. That cause may be the environment, cats, dogs, food, etc., but not merely a fascination about the object, but a desire, a passion, or need to rescue the object of the cause. This is about the bleeding hearts who choose the homeless. The two extreme types of these bleeding hearts are the research-oriented bleeding heart, and then the ones I refer to as brain-dead bleeding hearts. The difference between the two deals solely with the level of research regarding the subject matter. The less the research, the deader the brain. These actions are purely the benefit of the giver, not the homeless people. When I refer to the brain-dead bleeding hearts that come to McPherson Square Park in northwest Washington, D.C., or anywhere else for that matter, the only research it seems that most of them did was to find the place they could offload the most stuff in the shortest amount of time, get their photo op of them doing their good deed for the week. These people generally, but not in all cases, do not care whether the resources they have for 100 or more people actually get to 100 different people or just a few. Yeah. They frequently will simply drop off their stuff in some pile or on some bench like they were feeding hogs or some other wildlife. They come blasting horns, waking people up at all hours of the night. They just as well be yelling, "Soo-wee!" They either do not know how disrespectful their actions are, or they do not care. The suggestion frequently offered is that if they have blankets and coats, etc., for cold weather, drive the streets during those cold spells, days or nights, and offer the items they have to a person who looks like they need something to keep them warm. But this requires more dedicated effort than just slopping the hogs. Now, for those bleeding hearts who really do care, these people will do more research about the people, the area, the actual needs versus desires. Then they deliver accordingly within their budget. This group is by far the minority. Then, even fewer, if any of these givers, demand that the recipient homeless people keep their area clean of trash, whether their stuff the wind blew in. The simplicity of the solution, how it works. According to Wikipedia, the Marriott Marquis Washington Hotel cost $520 million to build. It reports that there are 1,175 rooms, which includes 49 suites. Oh, by the way, This does not require building new hotels. Large used ones are being bought and sold all the time and still have lots of life to them, without needing massive rebuilding. Organizations, large and small, as well as many individuals with their labor, product, and cash resources to help the homeless, can pool their resources to prevent duplicated and often wasted efforts. According to HUD, a U.S. government office, HUD alone claims to spend about $2.8 billion annually for homelessness. According to this internet search, Street Sense Media, there are about 500,000 homeless individuals in the U.S. The price tag to treat the malady of homelessness works out to at least $15 billion per year. That $15 billion every year could build about 30 hotels, each with 1,200 rooms and 50 suites. This would put one of these hotels in nearly every state every year. With 29 hotels, each with 1,200 rooms, every year towards solving the homeless problems. That is 34,800 homeless people being helped each year. In 10 years, that is 348,000 homeless people helped annually. Now, we take into consideration that not every homeless person wants to be off the streets, for whatever their reason. The earn your way part. We see how truly simple and quickly the homeless issue can be solved if, in every city and town, the many individuals and organizations, religious or not, combine their help the homeless resources. They could buy enough hotels in a community to house all of their homeless who are willing to come in off the streets and work 3 to 5 hours a day community service to receive the housing benefits listed below. This is a win for the homeless who desire to get off the streets, a win for the help the homeless people, a win for the government, and a big win for the communities. The help the homeless people could organize their outreach programs so that 30 of them are not servicing the same park or encampment on the same day and sometimes at the same time. This type of service allows most of the resources to be wasted or resold by those who do not need them, which happened frequently at McPherson Square Park, Northwest Washington, D.C., where I have been 4 years trying to get people interested in obtaining clean, honest government. With just this one simple plan, these organizations and individuals will help far more homeless people in a few short years than they actually helped in the past century. Washington, D.C. was the above example. The use of really quick numbers right off the internet demonstrate the viability of a 10-year plan. Remember, not all cities are as costly as Washington, D.C., which increases the numbers helped. Benefits. Provides a United States Postal Service mailing address. Provides an address for banking. Provides an address employees look for when hiring. Provides a 24-hour-a-day toilet. Provides a 24-hour-a-day shower. Provides a 24-hour-a-day bed. Provides a 24-hour-per-day phone charging. Provides a 24-hour-per-day meals for the various shifts and living habits. Provides a 24-hour-per-day laundry. Provides a 24-hour-per-day employment service, temp or full-time. Allows for the resident to work a full-time job to get established in their own housing choice. Less people on the streets as homeless. This is not a free to any resident who must put in 3 to 5 hours every day working community service generally picking up trash or doing other low-tech jobs that the city contracts with private industry to do, which saves taxpayers money. Builds a sense of self-worth within the resident, as they are now paying their own way, benefiting society, and not merely a drain against its resources. Most hotels have recreational facilities on site. Some conference rooms can be converted to classes, GED, temp job placements, and trade skill training, etc., and or dining halls. Up next, restructure educational industrial complex. Governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed, 1776. The governed, by design, are intended to work together as a unified body, controlling the government's powers, equally protecting each other's rights. End page content.